10 years ago, I was a student of Silicon University. And now, I'm still a student of life. Nothing has changed. Then I was a student, now I'm a student, and I'm going to be a student for the rest of my life. Nothing is going to change. Hi, I'm author Vanashmita Pati. I have authored 11 books. And now I'm here in front of you sharing some of my experiences as well as taking something from here today, taking some experiences more. So I was thinking, why should I come to TEDx Talks? What's so special? What have I done? Absolutely nothing. When I'm still learning, when I'm still nothing, why I'm standing right in front of you before all of you? And then the answer approaches me. And the answer is to make some changes. Now the point is, we say before a few days I met some of my friends, and when they said, I said, if you would have heard about it, Gora Sorakara Guli Bandhuka Tataru Sakata Kabira Daka. It is a Odia proverb. The meaning of it is, a writer's pen is very, very powerful. It can make changes. But some of my friends said that when people cannot perform, people cannot do, then they're right. That hit me hard. Is it true? No. It's not true. When I started writing, frankly speaking, I was having no work. Useless. Left the job and struggling with careers, struggling with companies, and then I started writing. But when I finished the first book, it made an impactful change. Life changed. The way I see life, the way I perceive the world changed. It created some impact on my life. Many of my books are about mythology, Indian mythology. Basically, Ramayan, the Ramayan, written by great sage Valmiki, and Mahabharat, written by the great sage Vyasa. The other name is Krishna Dwepayan. And all of them are women-centric. I write about women. Not because I'm a woman, but because it is important. It is already written, right? Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upapuranas, Puranas, those are already written many years ago, and many times it is discussed, it is rewritten. So what's new? What's difference? And why we need to explore this? Imagine, we are at a place, we are in a century, in a timeline, which is not different than Mahabharata, which is not different than Ramayana, not for only women, but for all of us. Nothing has changed. Do you think whatever we are facing today, we didn't face before? We faced that. Say for an example, do you know Sita? Who is Sita? Sita is the wife of Prince Ram. Ram was the prince of Ayodhya and the protagonist of the Ramayana, originally written by the great sage Valmiki. Why Sita is important? Because she was wife of a prince, or because her life was tormented. Her life was in trouble. Let me put forward it in a very simple way. Sita was wife of Prince Ram. She was abducted by king of Lanka, Ravan. Then she was rescued by Ram. Just make it very a serious point. She was rescued by Ram. She didn't come back. She was rescued by her husband. And after being rescued, she was asked to give a fire test, the test of purity. And you know what she did? She agreed to it. Now I ask the women sitting right in front of me, intellectual brains and men. The women particularly I'll ask, would you agree if your husband will ask you, go and give a fire test? Then I'll accept you. If the society will ask you, give a fire test, then we will accept you as a pure woman. Would you do that? Then why Sita agreed? Am I going to consider Sita as my idol? Yes. I'll tell you why. Let's take another example. You heard about Mahabharat, the mythological manuscript, a massive book with so many parvas, with so many narratives about politics, from literature, from politics to poetry, everything it is, inside the Mahabharat. And there is one character, Draupadi. We all know about it. You know what happened to her? Draupadi was wife of Pandavas. She was having 5 husbands, 5 prominent husbands. But she was humiliated in front of everybody and all remained silent. You know what she did for that? She waited for 14 long years for her husbands, for her husbands to fight a war and bring back her dignity. Now I'll ask again, will you wait 14 long years if you are humiliated in front of the society for your husband or husbands or family to come for you and fight a war, or would you do the fight? Yeah. This question occurred to me too. We all face the troubles in life, right? I also faced. I was also humiliated. We all go through a point of time when we are questioning ourselves, are we right? Or the people who are sitting right in front of us, putting finger towards us, are they right? And the answer comes, we are wrong. Kabir said, "Jo man khoja aapna, to musse bura na koi." Then I thought, because I'm a writer of mythological manuscripts, I write books followed by mythology. I read a lot of books, Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads. Then it come to my mind, because I am having a bunch of books for references, whom should I follow? Should I follow Sita, that I'll submit myself before the society, before the world, and accept what the society is wanting me to do? Or should I follow Draupadi and wait for 14 long years or more for my family or for my near and dear to fight for me and get me what I want? Or whom should I follow? Let's take another example. Have you heard about Amba? Amba is a woman. She was humiliated by Bhishma. Bhishma was prince of Hastinapur. He was never a king. Amba was humiliated. When Amba was humiliated, what Amba did? She didn't wait for anybody. What she did? She said, I'm going to gather knowledge. She traveled from forests to forests, villages, everywhere. And she collected knowledges, and then she died and born again as Shikhandi. Yes, as Shikhandi, and took a revenge and became the reason behind Bhishma's death. I admire her. Then should I become like Amba? I'm a woman, right? When I face some trouble, should I be Amba? And the answer comes again, yes. तो एक इंसान क्या क्या बन सकता है? I can be submissive, I can be angry, I can be waiting, I can be patient. What I should be, what you should be, what we all should be. Should we follow mythological manuscripts at all or not? In modern days, we don't follow, many of us, we don't follow the old books, the ancient manuscripts. We call them old, we call them retired, like our seniors, our fathers, our forefathers. We say, your mentality, our mentality, it doesn't match, let's not follow. We go ahead with that format. I wake up in the morning, I get the phone, I go for the social media feeds, I see 50% of news is about tormented women, humiliated women, failed women, sad women, raped women, molested women. It hurts, right? And I don't know the solution. I'm not here to give you the solutions because I also don't know. I'm going through the same, troubles. So what should be done? What can we do? My only point is, reading will help you. Reading ancient books, may it be Indian mythological manuscripts, may it be foreign mythological manuscripts, but the things that are already written, if you read them, if you totally go through them, you will find something out of it. You will find a solution. We say Srimad Bhagavad Gita gives all the solutions to all the problems. It is absolutely true. They who haven't read will never accept it. And to be very frank and honest, if you read Puranas like, particularly sub-Puranas like Ramayana and Mahabharata, you will face the troubles in thinking like I am facing right now. Whom should I follow? What should I do? Which path I should walk on? Should I fight a war for my rights? Should I give up? Should you all give up? Should we be submissive to our love? Should we fight against it? The question remains always unanswered until you read the books. I wrote a book, the title was Agni Pariksha. It was my first book in Odia language. The meaning is the fire test of Sita. I put forward a question, and now I would like to put forward the same question before all of you. In that book, Sita asked a question to Sri Ram, to her husband. It is not written in Valmiki Ramayana. It's absolutely and very much of my own thoughts which disturbs me. So, Sita asked her husband, Ram, that I walk for you. I walk for you naked feet in forests for 14 years. When the fire test was in my fate, why didn't you walk with me for 14 steps? We could have set the history before the world that my husband walks with me. When Rama touched Ahalya and Ahalya was free from all the pain and all the bad lives, Sita asked, why didn't you touch me with your feet? Why I have to go through the fire test? Is your feet not available when I am needing? Do we have answers? I don't have. But Ramayana gives the answers. However, we'll discuss that. The point is, Sita, Draupadi, Kunti, all those characters we follow, we read about. And I hope we all are aware of this thing because we are modern day generations. We call this mythology, but believe me, that's history of India. Our kings, our queens are the histories of India. And we must read about them, we must be aware about them, and it is not about religion, it is not about the fight between religions and the secularism and all. It is about knowing things. It is about perceiving the way our forefathers are perceiving the world. We must be aware of it. With that thought, I read Ramayana. And Sita occurred to me as a mysterious character. She was powerful, yet she didn't fight. And I'm sure, like me, like Sita, like Draupadi, like all the women sitting right in front of me have faced the same. You can do something, but you won't do something because you have to make people happy, right? We have to make our family happy. We have to make our colleagues happy, so we can do something but we won't do. We will come back. No. I'm a good woman. I'll not fight. You heard about Lakshmi Bai? She fought. Taking out the sword, running and fighting for her country, for her people. Kaikeyi, she was a fighter. Women are there who fight, definitely. But does that change? If women fight and the society is changing, then why are we still standing in a society where we go to the newsfeed and we see tormented women? Is because we should not be always the fighters. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upanishads, 4 Vedas and all those Indian mythological manuscripts, they provide a clear indication, a clear statement that a woman should be submissive and patient, and fighter, and all those things that we are perceiving in these days. That is the message from my side towards the world and from the Vedas and Puranas towards me. When I learned that, it changed life. It changed the way I was thinking. I was rebellious. I was like, what am I doing? Why should we always suffer? Why should we always be silent? Why shouldn't we speak? Then, when I read the books, I told myself, I'm hearing that I'm telling myself that please, Banashmita, calm down. This is the time you have to be submissive. This is the time you have to stand back and fight. This is the time you have to walk ahead and raise your voice, and this is the time you get your sword and fight and kill somebody if you want. Not technically, I'm telling metaphorically. Now you will tell somebody came and said to kill. That's really bad. I'll go to jail. So my experiences, I cannot say. I'm very young to have experiences. Right now I'm having an experience sitting before all the great minds and talking about all the great things which I understand very less. I understand mythology very less. The more you read, the more you study, the less you feel of yourself that we know nothing. But there is a desire to present that before the world. There is a wish to speak about what you read before the world. And that wish, that desire makes us write. When we write, we put forward our thoughts, our visions, our anger, or all sort of emotions that we are suppressed to submit before. We write that. How many of you write books? I don't see any hands. So that's bad. How many of you write articles, short stories, poetries? Wonderful, wonderful, lovely. Short stories, poetries, articles, books, creative concepts, if you keep on writing that, if you just note down whatever is coming to your mind, you write it. Just take a book, take a pen, keep writing. Whatever is coming to your mind, keep writing. Read, write, read, write. That will change the next generation. The way we are putting ourselves down by just scrolling in phones, just seeing movies. Movies are yet very creative. Seeing the news feeds is also creative. Seeing reels, people are dancing around, we are watching them, laughing, squandering our time to do nothing. Will that take us anywhere? Will that give us any creativity? No. If you are creating, you are creative. If you are watching, you are learning. If you are wasting your time, you are nothing. So I would expect, and I would, in fact, in a way, I would love to request each one of you and each one who is watching this should write, should read every day, it should be a mandatory procedure to be added in your life that I will wake up in the morning, I will read 10 pages. May it be Kindle, may it be Goodreads, may it be your book, may it be your mythological manuscripts, may it be Srimad Bhagavad Gita keeping at your home. Just get it and read few pages, few lines, some shlokas, and read the meaning of it. May it not appear understanding to you, but read it. And for everybody, may it be Quran, may it be Bible, may it be any books written by any great authors or newcomers. Read it. The more you read, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more it will change the perception, the way you perceive the world. And the more your perception changes, you will become a better person. No matter what you do, you will always succeed in your life, in your career, and in your every aspect. Reading is very important. Writing is more important than that. And the third point comes, presenting. I was an entrepreneur a few years ago. We all try doing job after engineering, do a job, then start your own startup. Sometimes startup fails. I'm an example. Then again another startup fails. Multiple failures, multiple setbacks. And when the time gives me some time, like leisure time, I started reading. And that never brings a failure. If you read, if you write, you are already a successful person. You don't compare yourself with anybody, you don't compete with anybody, you just acquire knowledge, pure, raw, authentic knowledge. That will never go out of your mind, will never go out of your brain. For modern day generation, for today's people, for the students, for all of us, for you guys, for me, for the people from 10 years to 30, 40 years. We all must read, we all must write every single day. And we all must connect ourselves to our ancient archetype literatures. If you really want to gain the knowledge, gather some courage to speak, gather some information about our ancient history, modern day changes, challenges, reality of the world, reality of today's time, reality of politics, India, Pakistan, anything you want to know. Just open the Mahabharata and read. You want to see yourself in that? You will find yourself as Arjun. You will find yourself as Karna. You will find yourself as Krishna sometimes. Read Ramayana. You will find yourself as Ram. Better not to find yourself as Ravan. So, and if you read Vedas, you will find the source of life, the way how to live, the way how to wake up in the morning, what to do, what not to do. I hear somebody was asking question, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? Do you really want to know what you should do when you wake up in the morning? Read Veda, Rig Veda, the first Veda. What should you do when you wake up in the morning? Pray to God, offer your prayers to your God, and then touch the feet of your parents and set a goal for tomorrow morning, today morning, and walk ahead and see the success in the end of the day. That success will be untouched, the real success. You will be contained, calm, nothing will disturb you. Not the societal pressure, not the college pressure, not the exam pressure, not friends fight, not nothing, family pressure, nothing. Nothing will disturb you. If you read, if you follow few rules, that is already written, already mentioned. Rules are never old. I walk in the college in the morning, the security stopped me. I smiled. I said, I was a student here. The rule never changed. Then also he was stopping, now also he is stopping. And he will be stopping us at the gate until the college, the university is here. You know why? That's the primary rule. With the modern day changes, the rule will never change. And the rule must never change. Until and unless there are some political rules which has to be changed, करना पड़ेगा. Apart from that, in real life, in the living, there should be few rules to be set, and taking care of family, taking care of parents, taking care of yourself, and also taking care of your integrity, your reality, your actuality is very, very important. And for us women, I say, follow the rules strictly. I'm not telling don't wear shorts and go out. That's not the rule. The rule is don't get diverted with the thing that is happening to you. Don't get hampered when you walk in the college and somebody say, hey, she's so good looking. Hey, she's ugly. It should not hamper you. When you get married, when somebody say, hey, you are not a good wife, it must not bother you. When you are having some troubles, when somebody say, hey, you are compromising your life, it must not bother you either. Just follow the rules. And the rule is, be everything. Be Sita, be Draupadi. Sita as in submissive to the person you love. Be Draupadi, be patient. Believe your family. Believe your near and dear. Believe your own people. Be Amba. When somebody put forward a question against you, you are going to rage. Be Lakshmi Bai. When the society needs you, fight back. And how are we going to get all this knowledge? By reading. I hope we all will come to a point where we will not understand what to do, but we will eventually get our way ahead. Just the way the people, the great minds did. And that will change the course of the world. When a woman changes, the society changes. And when the society changes, the generation lead to our next level, which will bring massive movements. Today we are sitting here because people are there sitting in front of me. They are expecting me to say something good, something creative, something that will moderate the lifestyle of current days. And the most important thing that will modulate all of us, that is our own decisions in our lives. And our decisions should always include good things, like taking care of own people, taking care of your integrity, taking care of career, reading, writing, being creative, being expressive, being submissive, being a fighter, being a warrior, and being a history. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for bearing me here.